Alright guys, sa mapagpalang araw sa inyong lahat, meron tayong isang reaction video. Nagkabukingan na sa Harry Roque sa Pogo issue. At kasangkot si Harry Roque dyan. Kung bago ka sa aking channel, don't forget to subscribe. This is Rob Trip. Alright, and without further ado, let's do watch guys.
Inigay ko na po sa secretariat po yung contract of lease.
And
at,
yes.
po, at
and the majority shareholder is Biancham Holdings.
Biancham po. Biancham.
Mr. Chair, may I ask that the SEC give us the document so far as this corporation is concerned. And
okay,
Mr. Chair.
yeah, thank you so much. As a matter of fact, Congressman Acop, we have submitted, they have submitted the SEC a lot of documents pertaining to incorporators of the different companies. But this one is a different.
Mr. Chair, I have committed to submit it before the Honorable Committee.
Yeah. A while ago, we asked for that copy already.
Yes, Your Honor.
So we'll
and
be
I've
expecting
committed,
to submit it in the soonest possible time.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you,
Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chairman, according to the Chairman Paduano, documents should come from.
Yes.
That's
I think we asked the. Okay. SEC, can you kindly give us also the documents pertaining to the corporations that was registered to your agency? Kasi ng SEC, ayun, ha? You know the name of the company already, correct? Yes, we'll give you the name of the company.
Oh,
Furnish us as soon as possible.
yes,
Thank you.
and as Secretary, I heard also that you would eventually it would become yours.
Yes, Your Honor.
You intend to buy all the shares?
Well, ang mangyayari po is Biancham owns PH2. Biancham will transfer the shares of PH2 to another holding corporation that I will be controlling, Your Honor.
And would you be at liberty to name the future owner?
Yes, Your Honor. It is Lopez Roque Holding Corporation.
I go to Madam Andrea.
Opo, sir.
It has been sinasabi po ng lahat media it was during your time mami po yung Pogo. Tama po ba?
Hindi ko po alam kung saan ang basis noon, pero ang gawa po namin ay yung mga existing noon na Pogo na offshore gaming operations, nagpa-license po sa amin at siguro po meron mga bagong nagpa-license. Pero po yung sinasabing proliferation, tulad po ng nabanggit noon, marami na po yan talaga sa Makati nung pang before 2016 at meron na rin po sa Clark. So, hindi ko po alam kung ano yung base ng proliferation from what base ang number ng akala nila na meron hanggang doon sa nag-regulate na ang PAGCOR.
Kailan po kayo naging chairperson ng
July 1, 2016 po.
July 1, 2016? Thereabouts, inilabas po yung executive order number 6.
After 1 year, nilabas po yung executive order number 13 noon pong February 2017.
2017?
Opo.
Sigurado po kayo.
Opo.
So, before that, meron na mga Pogo.
Before po yun, talaga pong may
Kasi yung
nag-call
mga
po ng...
previous hearing namin, may mga nagsasabi na wala pang Pogo noon. Baka meron na, pero hindi lang Pogo ang pangalan.
Opo, ang pangalan po nila, pasensya na po kayo kasi...
Yes, ma'am.
Alright, ay iba pala ang pangalan dati ng Pogo.
Ang pangalan po nila noon ay
Alright.
iGaming Service Providers. Pero po itong iGaming Service Providers na to na nakalocate po sa Makati at ibang lugar meron na pong nalaman na intelligence na ang yung mga yon ay operators na rin. Kaya po ang nangyari, nagkaroon ng move na nagka-information po ang Malacanang na gano'n, kaya po nagkaroon ng move na kung nandyan yan, dapat either pasarhan na o kaya i-regulate. Ang naging choice po, i-regulate. Kasi po, ang nangyayari po na sinasabi nila na service providers sila, kahit na po sila ay operators na ng offshore gaming, para po hindi sila magbayad ng franchise tax. Ang nakukubra po ng gobyerno ng panahon na yon ay 50 million pesos a year. Nung pong ni-takeover po ng PAGCOR, nag-run, nung pong as of, hindi ko lang po alam exact number, pero nung as of June 30, 2022, nung pong nag-retire ako from PAGCOR, mahigit 20 billion po ang aming kinita. Yun po ay simula 2017, 18 at 19. Dahil after po nun ay pandemic na at talaga naman pong nagsara. Nag-resume lamang po ang operation at partial capacity nung pong later part ng 2019 nung pumayag ang IATF na ito ay considered na BPO.
Thank you, Madam. In July of 2017, thereabout, 20 to 25 lang yung nag-apply sa
Opo.
and the group was led by a certain Mr. Kim Wong. Tama rin po ba?
Isa po siya sa mga nag-apply, pero po yung mga iba naman, titingnan niyo sa dokumento, kasi po, hindi naman po pwedeng mag-base ng decision dun po sa mga bali-balita. Pero po yung sa mga dokumento na sinagmit ng mga incorporators nila, iba-iba naman po ang mga ang mga shareholders at stockholders.
Pero during your time, pursuant to kung sa records po ng PAGCOR, it ballooned to 298.
Ay hindi po. Yun po ay kasi po ang setup po, iba po yung operator, iba po yung service providers. Kasi po yung naging organization na ginawa namin para po separate nga po yung service providers at distinct po yun. Kasi po 5 klaseng services ang kailangan para makag-operate. Ang operator po, ang bali nagkakapital at bali po nag-i-integrate itong 5 services na to. Itong 5 services na yon, in-classify nung namin na isa-isa lang. Kung halimbawa po, yung service providers
PAGCOR, di po ba ang sabi nyo is 298 sa data ninyo ang nag-operate na POGO during that time?
Sir, the 298 po includes the licensees and the service
Yes, I agree.
providers at that time.
Kasi po ang setup noon, iba po yung licensees, iba yung service providers. Kasi po, bago maka-operate nga, kailangan ng service provider ng customer service, strategic support, IT support, gaming software platform provider, at live studio and streaming. Pag po ganito ang aming pagkakategorize ng mga service providers, para po pag-intensyon ng aming monitoring and enforcement team, malalaman po nila na kung ito po ay production o yung gaming software platform provider, yun lamang pong makikitang makinarya doon at tao na kailangan ang makikita. Hindi po sila halo-halo. Kung sinabi pong production, halimbawa po, table games lang po ang nandun, yung pong dealer lang, yun lang pong table at yung monitors. Kung paghahalo-haluin ito, mahirap na pong i-monitor kung sila ay magsasama-sama at pagkatapos ay magkakaroon na rin sila ng pagkakataong mag-operate. Kaya po 2 layer po yun. Meron pong licenses at lahat po ng licenses, sila po ang nag-a-apply ng accreditation nitong 5 klaseng serbisyong ito. Kaya po pag ito nahuli, nape-penalize po yung mismong service providers at nape-penalize din po yung operator.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. There was a statement alluded to you that you allowed the licensing of POGOs pursuant to Executive Order number 13 when you have not still completed your study insofar as these establishments are concerned?
Ang ganito po ang nangyari, nung issue po yung Executive Order 13, mandated na po na lahat po ng mga POGOs o yung offshore operating yung na-detect na nagkukuha ng bets na ang tawag ay mga service providers na umalis na, meron pong vacuum of regulation. So talaga po kami, kailan po ba magi-start kung magbabagong negosyo ka o magbabagong profession ka? Talaga pong yung team namin, nag-form talaga kami ng OGLD. Puro po halos mga abogadong nandun. Pinag-aralan po yung mga ibang modelo at in-interview po yung mga taong nag-i-engage dyan para malaman po ang setup. Kasi po kung hindi gagawin yon at may vacuum po sa regulation, marami pong perang mawawala sa ating gobyerno, the revenues. At pangalawa po, lalo pong magiging malala ang illegal gaming. Kasi kung walang mag-takeover, illegal po sila lahat.
Marami pong salamat, ma'am. Narinig po ninyo yung opening statement ni Madam Katrina Enrile kanina, di po ba? And ano po yung tutan nyo po doon? I think this is your opportunity to refute all these statements alluded to PAGCOR during that time.
Marami po kasi siyang nasabi at hindi ko po na-catch lahat sa notes ko. Una po, gusto ko sana pong magpamanhin kay Senator Enrile. Wala pong intensyon PAGCOR na kami ay malakit sa SESA. Nakasama ko po sa 9th Congress si Senator Enrile at ako po ay talagang malaki ang respeto sa kanya. Yung pong paglalahad namin, ayun lang po ay yung information na nakuha namin nung mga panahong tinawag kami at sabihing pag-aralan kung ano itong offshore gaming. Yung po sa sinabi na tumatanggap ng taya ang mga offshore gaming operations o ang POGO sa loob ng Pilipinas, hindi po yun nangyayari. Kaya po ang tawag doon, offshore, ang tinatanggap lang pong pwedeng tayain ay doon po sa labas natin. Sinabi rin po na
Congressman Akop, you have a system that will be able to find out that the betting is not being done in the country. Because I heard that one of your service provider, if I'm not mistaken, the Global something that was tackled in the Senate was actually proven that they cannot do the task in accordance with the TOR that they have signed. And that's the reason why Chairman Altenco said that, maybe Attorney Fernandez can attest to this query of the chair about that contract that contracted by the PAGCOR with the service provider, a third-party platform that will check the betting of all those offshore gaming licensee. So, hindi na mirror di ba? As a matter of fact, that's the reason why parang it was cancelled by the PAGCOR.
Hindi ko po, ang alam ko po, sir, Chairman, yung global po, yan po, yung third part, hindi po yan service provider.
No, it's a
yes,
global
auditor.
third
Opo.
audit platform system.
It went through the whole bidding process ng public bidding.
Yes, we know, ma'am. Ma'am, we know that. No, wait. I know that it goes to a lot of the usual procedure of the procurement process. But what we are trying to say in here that it was manifested in the hearing that lahat ng mga TOR that were submitted hindi naging compliant yung global. And I have the minutes of the hearing in the Senate. I read it And doon nakasulat po that nag-fail yung global audit platform system. And the minutes of the Senate will prove me right. that it was really a failure on the part of PAGCOR. Can you kindly, Raul Villanueva, you are nodding your head. Can you kindly tell us the conformity of what I read on the minutes of the Senate?
Your Honor, that's true, sir. There was, I think there was a problem during the procurement process.
And what was the problem?
I was one of those who were included in the investigation committee, and we investigated the process of how they come up with the global RCI to be the third party audit of PAGCOR. And when we checked, there were some problems with the different stages in the procurement process.
Yeah, wait, Raul Villanueva. What we're trying to prove in here is not only the procurement process that was conducted by PAGCOR, but the veracity and the authenticity of their company
Yes,
to
sir.
audit
Yes, sir.
the betting offshore. At yun ang pinuprove natin dito, that what I read in the Senate meeting, naging failure. Hindi nakita yun ang betting. Hindi malaman kung nagbe-bet sa offshore o nagbe-bet dito. Yun ang nakalagay sa Senate minutes eh. I read it eh. So confirm it. Kung hindi, mali ako. But I will read it back.
Ang ano kasi, sir, yung Globalcom RCI, sir, hindi naman talaga nag-function.
And that's the reason why, ma'am, yun ang binabanggit ko po na hindi nyo malalaman kung yung betting nangyayari dito sa atin o nangyayari sa ibang bansa. Sinasabi lang natin na offshore betting. But the reality, yung auditor na dapat mag-audit ng mga nangyayaring betting, hindi nila nagagampanan yung kanilang tungkulin. We paid on that. But it was a failure.
I beg your indulgence, Mr. Chairman. Pag kung sinabi nila nag-fail at hindi umandar, ay hindi po siguro hindi po siguro totoo yon. Kasi po, meron po...
Ma'am, I beg to disagree because I read the whole report of the Senate. It was as thick as this. Pinagtyagaan ko pong basahin yan at nakita ko po yung third-party audit platform system that was hired by PAGCOR was a failure. Hindi nila nagampanan yung kanilang tungkulin. And it's being manifested by SBP Raul Villanueva. And if you're going to insist on that, madam, so we have to check the thick report that I have read. And it will bear me out of the authenticity of that report because even the official of the PAGCOR have manifested that there was indeed functioning of that platform services.
Ang alam ko po, ang BAC po ang gumawa niyang lahat ng kanilang proseso para ma-assure nga po na tama itong nakuha ng Third Global. At mayroon po talagang mga report naman na meron po silang powerful software at hardware na nai-scan po nila yung mga IP addresses ng mga tumataya. At may mga reports din naman po kaming natatanggap na yung mga IP addresses na pwedeng iugnay na galing sa Pilipinas, nabablock po nila yan at siya naman po ay sinusumitin namin sa mga authorities para po i-take down. Ito po kasi, siyempre po may level of authorities ang bawat strata ng aming organisasyon. Sisimula po yan sa technical working group, tapos po pupunta sa BAC, at pagkatapos lang po with the certification of the BAC chairman that everything has been made, at saka po pupunta sa board.
Chairman. Wait. Before I recognize Congressman Paduano. So basically, ma'am, ang topic lang po natin is yung pong compliance sila sa TOR nila that they can produce positive auditing of the betting of those who want to bet on the offshore gaming. And unfortunately, it was established in that report that no action taken that was done by that company. Ito yung nabasa ko po doon sa report. And now you are trying to tell us that indeed that company delivers.
Depende po kasi
Yeah,
kung nire-report sa
ma'am, you're under
amin.
oath po ha. So, ang sinasabi po ninyo, ma'am, na-deliver po nung company yon yung kanilang auditing that they are asked to deliver. Because,
Yes, sir. Kasi po, yung pong natanggap naming mga reports mula dun sa enforcement, meron po talaga silang naging mas malaki po ang koleksyon at saka po, meron po sila talagang pinapa-take down ng mga IP addresses na ma-attribute na galing sa Pilipinas.
sige, ganito na lang, ma'am.
Chairman.
Yes, Congressman.
Ganito lang po kasi dinidiscuss with due respect to Ma'am Andrea Domingo, discuss po criminal process nila. Ganyan. Alam na natin yan. But ganito, Mr. Chairman, as I have heard, if my correct yung pagkarinig ko, sasabi ni SBP Villanueva, na they have conducted an investigation with regards to this service provider. Now, siguro, Mr. Chairman, just to prove your argument with regards to the Senate na discussion, Mr. Chairman, can I move that we direct PAGCOR to submit to this committee the result of such investigation with regards to that service provider?
Hindi, siguro tanong natin ng
Sinabi niya na kanina. May result, may problema.
yes, may problema nga.
Kaya nga pinapasubmit ko, Mr.
Yes,
Chairman.
we will ask
Para
them.
at least ma-prove lang.
Yeah.
Na indeed correct yung ano mo.
Sige, so there's a motion to submit all the documents pertaining to the action that was taken by the PAGCOR official on the contract between the Global something and the PAGCOR on the auditing of that offshore gaming. So any second motion, duly seconded on objection, hearing none, the said motion is now approved.
Isa pa.
Next.
Chairman. I also move, Mr. Chairman, that PAGCOR should submit the co-audit report with regards to that.
Saka,
And COA also,
and
to direct COA also, Mr. Chairman, to submit the co-audit report with regards to that.
so babalik na po natin kay Congressman Acop, nagagalit
Thank
na
you,
po,
Chairman.
nakatingin na po siya ng masama. So, joke lang. So,
Mr. Chairman, that's the motion, Mr. Chairman.
Sandali.
That's the motion.
What's the motion? O second the motion. Any objection? None. Approve. Okay. Sige. Okay. Sir. Sir, last na. Kindly, give us also a copy. PAGCOR, please listen. Kindly submit to us pertaining to that subject matter with regards to the compliance of that company, no? Na assignment nila is to really give us ano yung betting na nangyayari outside Yun ang gusto namin makita. And to prove to everybody na hindi na natin na monitor kung sino mga nagtataya dyan. Di ba? Give it to us. Okay?
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Chair, gusto ko lang balikan yung tanong ni...
Will you allow the
Congressman
good
Acop.
chairman of the Committee on Human Rights to interject on the good chairman of
Please.
Transportation?
Please, related to sa tanong mo,
Mr. Chair.
Yes.
Chairman, di pa ako
related po. Related lang. Related po.
Chairman, cannot refuse the chairman of
Yes.
the Committee on Human Rights.
I believe so.
Human right violation yan.
Oh, that's human rights violation, which is under Congressman
Anyway,
Peñabante. You are recognized.
Gusto ko
Wait.
lang ipaliwanag.
You wait for the recognition. You are recognized.
Gusto ko lang maipaliwanag po ng former chairman ng PAGCOR ang kaibahan ng operator at service provider. Puro, may paliwanag niya, baka mayroong pagkakaiba itong mga tanong natin. Pangalawa, ano po pa talaga ang kaibahan ng function nila?
Yun po yung licensee na siya po ang offshore gaming operator talaga. Under po sa kanya ay mga service providers na 5 klase ang trabaho, 5 klaseng serbisyo. Tapos,
O ibang license yun?
accreditation
Iba
po
ang
yun.
license ng operator, iba ang license ng provider.
Yung pong service providers, dahil wala pong gaming na nangyayari sa kanilang stations, accreditation po ang binibigay. Bawat isa pong pogo, kailangan po mag-apply siya at magpa-accredit ng mga service providers na magpo-provide sa kanya ng service para po makapag-launch po siya ng operation. So, ang limang serbisyo po na kailangan niya, customer service, which provide customer service to players and cater to their various needs through direct contact and communication devices. Strategic support are entities that develop or improve the business processes of POGO licensee, usually opening as the back office support. IT support, entities that provide technical support to POGO licensees, such as but limited to the diagnosing and solving software faults and IT maintenance. Gaming software.
Ma'am, can you kindly put the mic much closer to your mouth, please? You cannot hear clearly.
Gaming software platform provider are entities that provide proprietary products either as gaming systems or games themselves. At yung pong live studio and streaming, entities that provide real-time streaming of authorized gaming activities coming from live studios and or licensed gaming venues via the internet. Pinaghihiwa-hiwalay po talaga namin yan dahil hindi po pwedeng kumuha ng taya ang isa na stand-alone. Kailangan po, meron siya talagang lahat ng buong services na to para po makakuha ng taya at ang integrator po ng services na to ay yung POGO licensee. Yung POGO licensee po at ang maximum na license ay 63 pero di naman po yun operational lahat at hindi po yun operational all throughout na sabay-sabay. Noon pong by June 30, 2022, 34 na lang po ang aming license na operational na POGOs at 130 na lang po ang service providers. Yung pong tinatanong kanina, kasi po, siyempre, hindi naman po namin sa aming position dun sa organisasyon, hindi na po kami nakakapag-delve very deeply dun sa mga detalye. Kasi po, ang totoo lamang, ang PAGCOR, wala pa po sa 10, ang POGO, wala pa po sa 10% ng trabaho ng PAGCOR. 90% po iba.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, we understand your position as the chairman of the PAGCOR. And one of those services that was contracted by PAGCOR, no, ay minimal lamang po doon sa so much huge responsibility that you have. We understand that. And that's the reason why, para lang matapos na po ito, makapag-diretso na po tayo sa mga interpellators, we wanted yung pong mga issues that we have debated a while ago. So, basically, tapos na po tayo dyan, ma'am. So, we will be proceeding dun sa, I think wala na pong question si Congressman Abante. So, we'll be asking Congressman Acop to proceed. Thank you, Ma'am Domingo.
Thank you po, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Kung sa korte ito, talo na ako eh. Dahil hindi ko na masunod-sunod yung aking katanungan eh. Mr. Chair, I only have 2 issues left. Number 1, PAGCOR, pag nilisensya nyo yung isang building, for example, in Bamban, in Porac, yung iba walang lisensya. Tama po?
Tama po, sir.
Pero may mga tao kayo ron, doon sa license na POGO building. Meron po ba?
Meron
Kasi
po,
doon sa mga kasino, meron po kayong mga itim mo, pero doon na nakaposte eh. Nagmo-monitor. Ngayon, kayo, meron din po kayong mga tao doon sa mga nilicense nyo na POGOs na nasa isang building. Tama po?
Yes, sir.
At tanong ko nga po, hindi po ba sila nagre-report sa inyo? Ano po ang nangyayari doon sa ibang partes ng building na yan o doon sa ibang building?
Mr. Chair, may I refer the question to SVP Villanueva?
Tinatanong ko po ito dahil ang report sa akin, yung isang POGO hub, nandun yung legal, nandun yung illegal, at nandun yung mga scammers eh. Kasi based from the equipment confiscated or seized by the PAOK agency, hindi po ba nakikita ng inyong mga tao na nagbabantay doon sa license Pogo, doon sa loob ng hub, yung ibang gawain ng mga illegal Pogos doon?
Mr. Chair, nakikita din po. At nire-report namin po yan sa mga law enforcement agencies. In fact, andito yung listahan, sir, ng lahat ng nireport namin sa DOJ, PAOK, SOSYA, DI, and others.
Sige, General Raul.
Documented yan po.
Next question. Ano po yung action doon sa pinagdalhan nyo ng mga report na po yan? Dapat alam niyo. Why? Because under Republic Act 6713, Code of Conduct, diba pag nag-report kayo o may communication kayo sa ibang government agency, they should answer within 10 working days, if I remember it right. Tama po ba, Attorney Roque?
Along the law po yan.
Ang ginagawa ko, sir, ako pupunta sa kanila to follow it up, and then we discuss the case build-up. Actually, sila nagki-case build-up, sir, yung mga law enforcement. And nagpapasalamat naman ako kami, sir, na tinutulungan kami ng mga law enforcement agencies. In fact, yung mga raids, kadamihan ng raids naman ng law enforcement agencies, yung iba doon, kadamihan naman doon, ay information galing sa amin, sir.
May I know if you have also sought the help of our intelligence agencies regarding this kind of illegal activity?
I will not confirm or deny, sir.
I know the reason why?
Because
you can answer that question without, incriminating any agency, I think.
Yes, sir. For the the general terms, I've been coordinating with all the intelligence agencies, sir.
Thank you. The last issue, Mr. Chair, connected to our hearings at the Committee on Dangerous Drugs and Public Accounts, together with Public Order and Safety, grant of visas and Filipino passports to aliens. Now, may I know from our resource persons, sino po ang makapagsasabi sa committee ito kung ilan na ang visa na ibigay natin sa foreigners? Can you give us the exact number of foreigners that we have issued visas? And what is that agency who can tell us that?
Mr. Chair, earlier Bureau of Immigration
Are you
manifested submission.
going
Sorry.
to interject without asking the chairman?
I apologize, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you. You are
I'm just
recognized.
volunteering an information to the question of Honorable Akop because earlier the Bureau of Immigration manifested that they submitted already the list of foreign nationals who were issued working visa.
Would you agree with that, Bureau of Immigration?
PI.
Yes, Mr. Chair, we already submitted data on the work visas that we issued to those who are working for POGOs, Your Honor.
And that would be the number of visas that your office has granted.
Yes, Your Honor, we don't have the data for the economic zones, Your Honor.
Mr. Chair, do we have a representative of the Department of Foreign Affairs today?
Yes, we have.
Yes.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm sorry, I was not, the DFA was not asked to produce statistics.
No, I'm not asking that you would produce that, ma'am. I will be asking you some questions.
All right.
Would you know, ilan po kayang agency ng gobyerno ang pwedeng mag-issue ng visa to foreign nationals?
There are several, but the main visa issuing agency is the Department of Foreign Affairs. There are also other investment promotion agencies such as the special economic zones that issue specific visas. There are also the special retirement visa issued by the Philippine Retirement Authority. We also have the special investment resident visa issued by the Department of Trade and Industry Board of Investment. So there are several visas, Mr. Chair, Your Honor. The DFA issues the following visas: temporary visitors visas, Siemens visas, transit visa, 9C, foreign government officials visa, 9E. We have the 13 series or the non-quota and quota immigrant visas. We also issue that, of course, in coordination with BI. We also issue special non-immigrant visas, the 47A2, which we issue, but we process this along with the Department of Justice, and also the refugees visa, 47B.
Thank you, ma'am. Pero in effect, the DFA is not involved in any mechanism or framework that would monitor the issuance of other visas by other agencies.
As far as monitoring of the visa issuances of other agencies, we are not involved.
Yes. And you do not have any supervisory oversight over these agencies.
We have none.
So, wala pong agency of government that can tell us, members of this committee, kung ilan po ang visa na i-issue na sa foreign national. Kasi, walang agency na re-regulate nito eh. Kanya-kanya.
Opo, kanya-kanya po. For example, in our case, we have our own reporting coming from our foreign service posts abroad. Nagre-report po sa amin. And
yeah.
If it's required, for reportorial requirements, we submit.
Kaya kami nagkakaproblema dun sa mga hearings namin, madam, dahil walang makasagot eh. Aming mga katanungan, especially din sa bakit isang alien or foreign national would have two passports. One China, one Filipino. Pag nagtransact sila ng business dito, yung Filipino passport ang ginagamit. Pag nagbibiyahe, yung Chinese passport ang ginagamit. Kaya hindi namin matrace eh. Kaya nagkakaroon kami ng problema. Why? Because executive, walang sistema. Paano mailagay sa isang database ito? Can you not see the problem?
Actually, Mr. Chair, Your Honor, right now we're working towards, we know that we should work towards having database sharing agreements. So we're working towards that end. In fact, for example, I don't want to speak for BI. BI can say that they have database agreements with other agencies na. I can share. I don't.
Di po ba parang
But
dapat
yes,
merong...
if we agree, we should have...
merong isang agency na parang imbudo na dun lahat papunta yung data. So far as visas granted are concerned.
The thing, sir, is there are data privacy laws that we have to observe and respect also. We may want to have database sharing agreements with other agencies, but there are constraints. For example, intelligence agencies might invoke data privacy laws, or they're not wanting to have a database sharing agreements with us. May mga ganun pong constraints, Congressman.
I cannot see, for example, that the number of visas issued by the economic zones would be reported, for example, to the FA. Is there a violation of the Data Privacy Act there? Yun lang po ang hinihiling namin eh.
As of now, the FA has no oversight.
Kaya yun
wala
lang
po
ang nagiging
kaming
problema, madam eh. Diba?
over the special
Pero
agreements.
ini-invoke mo kasi yung Data Privacy Act. Para bang naglalagay po kayo kagad ng obstacle para magkaroon ng database lahat ng visa issued by the Philippine government.
Congressman, may I clarify? It's not the DFA that says because of the data. It's other
Example ko lang po yun.
agencies that
Example ko lang ngayon. Kasi ngayon, wala nga eh. Diba? Hinihiling namin, hindi ba pwedeng mayroong isang agency na lahat ng visa issued should be posted there? Is there a violation of the Data Privacy Act there?
You go ahead, Congressman Chairman Akop. Again, reminder, General Karamat, please, reminder po, huwag po tayo magsisinungaling sa hearing na to. Go ahead, Congressman Akop.
General Karamat,
Yes, sir.
would you know if the mayor of Tual Pangasinan really the boyfriend of Madam Mayor, former Mayor Alice Go? Not Congressman Batawil or Mayor Batawil, as insinuated by the Honorable Abante.
The same, sir. I could give my answer based on evidence, sir.
Based on evidence. And what you're trying to tell this representation and the committee is that you do not have any evidence.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Siya. Pero Karamat, maraming marites eh. Nakakarating po dito sa Maynila. Ano pa kaya doon? Kuba?
I will stick with my answer, Your Honor, sir, that I have no evidence, sir.
Kasi, tingnan po ninyo kasi, yung pagtatanong ko kay Yusek Cruz, definitely nagkaroon ng leakage. Yun ang statement niya. Saan po kaya magagaling yung leakage? Kundi doon sa mga nakakaalam na merong operation against the Bamban Pogo Hub. Di po ba?
Sir, the operation...
You are an investigator. Alam mo na yung mga connections na yun. Di po?
Sir, I was not informed on that operation, sir. I was on leave abroad, sir. Zero knowledge talaga kami, sir. Even my command group, sir, were not informed of that operation, sir.
Yusek Cruz, why were the two search warrants secured for such an operation?
For the Banban operation, Your Honor?
Yes.
Yes, Your Honor. There were two search warrants.
Why?
Malaki po kasi, sir, yung compound. So, we need to use two search warrants.
There were 36 buildings in that 9-hectare or 10-hectare property, right?
About 10 hectares, Your Honor.
Now, have you asked PAGCOR kung lahat po ng building o yung operations doon may lisensya lahat?
Ang kwento po sa
yung
internet...
PAGCOR kung may lisensya
Yes, sir.
lahat, yung 36 buildings na yun?
We were told that only one building and that's the second, third, fourth, and fifth floor lang, sir, yung may license. We did two search warrants, Your Honor. Kasi where the owner or maybe the operator during that time think that we will be raiding lang, sir, yung isang building. But what we did, sir, is we applied for the whole compound. So, kasi, sir, alam namin yung pinakikitang building sa PAGCOR is the building that they want to be inspected because wala kang makikita talaga doon, sir. It's like they are pulling all the inspectors with that building. So, what we did, we applied for the whole compound, sir. So, we can get yung mga scam farms nila, sir.
Let's leave that. Let's go to the raid at the subdivision in Tuba Benguet. Secretary Hari.
Yes,
I heard
Mr.
you
Chair.
mention that it belongs to a corporation. With you having care so far as that corporation is concerned.
Ang
Tama po.
interest po. Opo.
When When you say interest, may shares po kayo?
Well, nominal share po ako ngayon, pero gaya ng aking sinabi, we're in the process of reorganization and reallocating assets as part of estate planning. At ito pong Baguio property, talaga pong bago pa mangyari itong raid nito, ay talagang pinili ko that I want it back.
May I know the name of the corporation?
Na-submit ko na po sa Secretariat, PH2, mahaba ang pangalan eh. Binigay ko na po sa Secretariat po yung contract of lease.
And
at,
yes.
At
And the majority shareholder is Biancham Holdings.
Biancham po. Biancham.
Mr. Chair, may I ask that the SEC give us the document so far as this corporation is concerned. And
Okay,
Mr. Chair.
yeah, thank you so much. As a matter of fact, Congressman Acop, we have submitted, they have submitted, the SEC, a lot of documents pertaining to incorporators of the different companies. But this one is so different.
Mr. Chair, I have committed to submit it before the Honorable Committee.
Yeah. A while ago, we asked for that copy already.
Yes, Your Honor.
So we'll
And
be
I've
expecting
committed, Your
to
Honor.
submit it in the soonest possible time.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chairman, according to the Chairman Paduano, documents should come from the
Yes. I think we asked the, okay. SEC, can you kindly give us also the documents pertaining to the corporations that was registered to your agency? Asan ang SEC? Ayun, ha? You know the name of the company already, correct? Yes, we'll give you the name of the company. Furnish us as soon as possible.
Yes,
Thank you.
And as Secretary, I heard also that you would eventually it would become yours.
Yes, Your Honor.
You intend to buy all the shares?
Well, ang mangyayari po is Biancham owns PH2. Biancham will transfer the shares of PH2 to another holding corporation that I would be controlling, Your Honor.
And would you be at liberty to name the future owner?
Yes, Your Honor. It is Lopez Roque Holding Corporation.
May I go to Madam Andrea?
Opo, sir.
It has been sinasabi po ng lahat media na it was during your time na mami po yung pogo. Tama po ba?
Hindi ko po alam kung saan ang basis noon, pero ang gawa po namin ay yung mga existing noon na pogo na offshore gaming operations, nagpa-license po sa amin at siguro po meron mga bagong nagpa-license. Pero po yung sinasabing proliferation, tulad po ng nabanggit noon, marami na po yan talaga sa Makati nung pang before 2016 at sa meron na rin po sa Clark. So, hindi ko po alam kung ano yung base ng proliferation, from what base ang number ng akala nila na meron hanggang doon sa nag-regulate na ang PAGCOR.
Kailan po kayo naging chairperson ng
July 1, 2016 po.
July 1, 2016? Thereabouts, inilabas po yung executive order number 13.
After 1 year, nilabas po yung executive order number 13 noon pong February 2017.
2017?
Opo.
Sigurado po kayo?
Opo.
So, before that, meron na mga pogo.
Before po yun, talaga pong may
Kasi yung
nag-call
mga
po ng...
previous hearing namin, may mga nagsasabi na wala pang pogo noon. Baka meron na, pero hindi lang pogo ang pangalan.
Opo, ang pangalan po nila, pasensya na po kayo kasi.
Yes, ma'am.
Ang pangalan po nila noon ay iGaming service providers. Pero po itong iGaming service providers na to na nakalocate po sa Makati at ibang lugar, meron na pong nalaman na intelligence na ang yung mga yon ay operators na rin. Kaya po ang nangyari, nagkaroon ng move na nagka-information po ang Malacanang na ganon, kaya po nagkaroon ng move na kung nandyan yan, dapat either pasarhan na o kaya i-regulate. Ang naging choice po, i-regulate. Kasi po, ang nangyayari po na sinasabi nila na service providers sila, kahit na po sila ay operators na ng offshore gaming, para po hindi sila magbayad ng franchise tax. Ang nakukubra po ng gobyerno ng panahon na yon ay 50 million pesos a year. Nung pong ni-takeover po ng PAGCOR, nag-run, nung pong as of hindi ko lang po alam exact number, pero as of June 30, 2022, nung pong nag-retire ako from PAGCOR, mahigit 20 billion na po ang aming kinita. Yun po ay simula 2017, 18 at 19. Dahil after po nun ay pandemic na at talaga naman pong nagsara. Nag-resume lamang po ang operation at partial capacity nung pong later part ng 2019 nung pumayag ang IATF na ito ay considered na BPO.
Thank you, Madam. In July of 2017, thereabout, 20 to 25 lang yung nag-apply sa PUPA.
Opo.
And the group was led by a certain Mr. Kim Wong. Tama rin po ba?
Isa po siya sa mga nag-apply, pero po yung mga iba naman, itingnan niyo sa dokumento, kasi po, hindi naman po pwedeng mag-base ng decision dun po sa mga bali-balita. Pero po yung sa mga dokumento na sinagmit ng mga incorporators nila, iba-iba naman po ang mga ang mga shareholders at stockholders.
Pero during your time, pursuant to kung sa records po ng PAGCOR, it ballooned to 298?
Ay hindi po. Yun po ay kasi po ang setup po, iba po yung operator, iba po yung service providers. Kasi po yung naging organization na ginawa namin para po separate nga po yung service providers at distinct po yun. Kasi po limang klaseng services ang kailangan para makag-operate. Ang operator po, ang bali nagkakapital at bali po nag-i-integrate itong 5 services na to. Itong 5 services na yon, classify nung namin na isa-isa lang. Kung halimbawa po, yung service providers
Alright guys, ayan, napanood at pakinggan po natin ang pagkabuking na ni Harry Roque sa Pogo issue. At maraming salamat sa panonood at pakinig dito kay Rob Trip. And see us again sa ating reaction video. Thank you guys sa inyong lahat. And peace out.